Good evening, folks, and welcome to the Let's Be Frank Men's Mental Health podcast, the home of mental health. So, I'd like to welcome you all to obviously the latest episode, which is, I believe, season 3, episode 4. Hopefully, we are live through both YouTube and Facebook. So, just let me know you're in the comments with a thumbs up and whatnot. That would be fantastic. Well, tonight I'm really stoked about this one. I've been following them for a little bit, and I've got a great guest in the chap called Steve Mcgrady. I hope I've got that right. From Off the Chain. So he's basically on a mission. I think he's got his friend with him, and they're cycling from the UK to Japan and back, I do believe. Steve is a 40-year-old singer-songwriter. He's faced some of life's toughest challenges with relationships, losing connections, and battles with thoughts about ending it all. So without further ado, I would like to bring the man himself. I do hope this is going to work, but welcome to Steve, who should be with me in a short second, and his camera's not live, so oh no. So Steve, I know you're recording that, and so we will be able to put something out there, hopefully, with you. So unfortunately, it's just going to be half screen with Steve talking. So Steve, how the devil are you, my man?
I'm good, mate. Good, mate. Thank you for having me on the show.
No worries. So I do apologise about the video not uploading. It's just like, I don't know.
I did my hair as well. I did my hair for this.
I know. Well, mate, I've seen your locks, and I must say they are some impressive curls. So yeah. So Steve, honestly, buddy, so thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to come and talk to us, and I really have to say, it's an absolute privilege. So I don't really want to kind of take it away from you. So Steve, let's hear something about you then. So what's the mission?
The mission is to cycle from the UK to the Japan and back, to raise awareness for men's mental health. Not only just to raise awareness for men's mental health, but for people living with men's mental health, because it's all about noticing the signs as well, because it's not just the people that are suffering mental health that go through it, it's those around them too.
Okay, so in terms of you said, looking at that, it's not just, it affects everybody. So for me, from my own battles, it's the people around you that it also affects. So I know you've had a bit of a turbulent sort of past with your mental health. So, I mean, how has that affected sort of family around you?
Massively. Some of them are not in contact with anymore. Broken relationships, bridges that have been burnt, and all I can do is just keep trying. So, but yeah, it's affected me massively, and it's affected those around me even more.
Okay, so in terms of your sort of your own mental health, what were the sort of early signs that you wasn't sort of you wasn't well? Because let's be honest, you're not well when you are with your demons and you're battling and you're low, you aren't well. And what were your sort of signs? Did you notice anything?
Massively, yeah. I like my surroundings, the normal surroundings that I was used to. I felt uncomfortable in. There was certain people around, conversations that I just wasn't able to handle anymore. I just started losing care in just the slightest things. Just I started not caring about socializing anymore. Everything just started to go from like really, really happy to a fake, like I was putting it all on, and that's when I noticed that I wasn't well.
Okay, and did you find that that, I know you've been like in a band and things like that, but did you find that was helping you kind of put on a front and masking it?
Oh yeah, 100%. Because when you're in a band, you're a totally different person. And I used to write songs, but even the songs that I was writing, you could tell that I was in a lot of pain. So in the end, I just needed to leave it alone.
Okay, so no, it's really, really, poignant, that, and it goes to show that some people might be there all happy, all smiling. I mean, I know through sort of first-hand experience that's kind of it is a mask, and when you've been dealing with it a while, you become good at putting that mask on, and somebody from a band, that's that's what you're doing day in, day out.
Yeah.
Uh, how would you say, for people that are concerned that people are putting on this mask, what would you say to them about approaching people?
Take the mask off and approach people. Talk. It doesn't matter who you talk to, as long as you talk. It doesn't matter. It's that's the most important thing. And as a man, it's quite hard. It's easier to wear a mask than it is to talk. It's easier to smile than it is to lean on someone's shoulder and have a cry. But I fully recommend it because this is what I'm trying to break out. It's not weak. It's okay not to be okay.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
so I think I've just I popped something up there from a chap called Steve Newman, and it was really important. What he's just said there. It's good to get your feelings out, which is for me is no truer sort of word. So Steve, good shout there.
Yeah, it's a good
And
plan.
in terms of other people around you, um, did they notice?
Oh yeah, they noticed. Yeah, they noticed. But because it's like mental illness comes in different forms.
Yeah.
And until I could figure out what the illness was that was with me, whether it was anxiety, depression, guilt, with me it was a mixture of things because I wasn't a very nice person when growing up. I wasn't nice to my surroundings. I wasn't nice to certain people. Caused a lot of pain. But at the time of doing it, it's just you don't realise that you're doing it. You don't realise that you're the issue. Um,
Okay.
so by making that step, it was kind of it was a big eye opener.
So, I mean, was this? I mean, for those that have looked at the invite, followed it in from there, I put a bit of a brief synopsis in what which you sent over to me. Um, was it this? Was it your mental health? Was that why your relationships broke down? Do you think?
Yeah, definitely, 100%. I thought the sun was shining out my ass. I thought I was doing everything correctly. What I didn't know is that I was on autopilot the whole time, that being at home, um, and I just didn't click. Thought everything was just normal, and it just wasn't.
Okay, so that there, it goes to show that knock-on effect that it has on those people around you, which
Yeah,
for myself, you kind of start pushing people away because you don't want to, you don't want to put on them, you don't want to affect them, and
yeah.
in essence, what you're actually doing is making your own situation worse. Would you agree with that?
100%, 100%. I didn't want to. I didn't know. I didn't want to look within myself. It was easier for me to cast blame on others around me, like self-betraying it. But doing this trip, it's given me the opportunity to realise that I'm 1,000 miles from home. There's nobody else to blame. It's all on me.
So, well, you say 1,000 miles from home. So, those that are just catching up, so Steve's on a mission, and he's had some pretty tough rides from sort of the UK. And I was talking to him just before we got on air, and he was saying probably the toughest part of his leg at the moment has been the Pyrenees. Um,
Yeah,
I mean, looking through the sort of the Pyrenees, and those that don't know the Pyrenees, it's a very very hilly area, and quite roads entwining and stuff. So you got to imagine Steve on a push bike here, with all his luggage and everything behind him, pushing up a hill. Was there a point where you thought, do you know what, am I doing the right thing?
yeah. To be fair, I've felt that quite a few times at the mountain. Like, why am I doing this? Is it going to be worth it? Who I'm going to make a difference to? But it was when I got to the top that I realised that um, that was for me. Achieving the Pyrenees was for me, nobody else, and that was a massive achievement. Especially being told that it can't be done, and the fact that I did it, it nearly killed me. But at the end of the day, I got to the top, and then I thought to myself, if I can do this, if I can just non-stop break these limits, then and achieve more, then anybody can do it. If I can do it, anybody can do it. Trust me.
No, that's absolutely awesome, and I do take my hat off to you, knowing what the mountains look like, and
Yeah,
knowing knowing how difficult it is to get from from the bottom to the top. I take my hat off to you. So at the moment, there's kind of two of you, isn't there, on this mission?
yeah.
Um,
It can.
so where why Japan? That is just quite literally, why Japan? Surely there's somewhere closer to home that you could have
Because
kind of.
it's the other side of the world, and I haven't conquered much in my life. And if I have, I've cheated or found an easier way of getting there. I've never really pushed myself. So by going all the way to the other side of the world and back again, not only do I get to see the whole world, which is what I've always wanted to do, and we all live on it, so why not?
Okay,
For me, it was more just like just testing myself, like taking on the world. Like if you
okay.
can do that, that's like a massive. If I can do it, like I said, anyone can do it for 6 months in Spain or 6 months in France. If I can go all the way to Japan,
Yeah.
then people can do this.
Yeah, absolutely. And Simon has just popped up and he's asking, was this something that he had planned already? I don't think it was it? I think this was kind of a spur of the moment thing.
Oh, this was overnight.
Yeah.
We wanted to obviously take my own life, and I just went and said to my bandmates, "I'm finished. I'm done. I'm off." I decided to go around, around wherever. Basically, I didn't have a plan. And then my bandmate Cam said, "I'll come with you." And then
Okay.
that night we sat up and we opened a bottle of whiskey and we just planned the whole journey, and and the ball hasn't stopped rolling.
Okay. Fantastic. So I mean, I can't, but take my hat off to you, I do some rash things, but I don't think I'd have the balls to kind of go. Do you know what? I'm going to Japan, so I'll take my hat off to you on that one. So in terms of kind of where you're at now, you've kind of come down from the UK through the Pyrenees.
Yeah.
Through France, and then you've come over into Italy, isn't that right? And you've been in Italy the last couple of weeks, is that right?
We went over the Pyrenees, down into Spain,
Okay, down in Spain, sorry.
and then we
And,
from Spain and
and
then come back up.
okay, and then come back up. So, what would you say has been the kind of the highlight to kind of now, if that
Meeting
makes sense?
meeting new people. The people that I've met on this journey are just like, it's like they're angels, perfect angels.
Okay,
All the hosts that I've had have been amazing people. They've been supportive. They've like opened my eyes to so many different things. It's on things I couldn't even dream about.
okay,
And they say travel broadens your mind, and I actually agree with that. It
right.
really does.
So,
Um,
I mean, in terms of kind of, I suppose I'm digging for like an analogy here,
yeah,
and I suppose looking at this one, it shows how powerful conversations can be.
yeah,
Especially when you're kind of feeling low or you're feeling like you shouldn't be doing something, you're not prepared for something. How much a conversation can actually change something.
yeah. It really does. It really does. I agree with that totally. I've had plenty of conversations with people I don't know, and they've given me support and strength, and it's been amazing. It's been an amazing journey, and it's good that people reach out to me as well, telling me that I'm an inspiration, and they love watching my videos so they can help their own teenage sons and the people that I've stayed up all night with trying to save their lives and get them to see. And with it, like I said, we've got a guy coming out who's selling his house, sold everything, and he's going to come and join us for a bit of the world tour. So
Okay.
good shout there for Christopher. He knows who he is.
So I mean, is if somebody else was kind of thinking about to yourself, I'd like to do something like this. Would you recommend it, or would you kind of go hold your horses, plan it a little bit first?
I'd recommend to anybody that travel is definitely worth it, but I wouldn't take on the challenge that I have. It's just crazy.
Nuts,
It's just
absolutely nuts.
just nuts. But then, like I said, everybody that knows me wouldn't expect anything less. I've always been a kind of aiming the bar high or setting goals that I can't achieve, but this one I will achieve.
No, good. And so where's kind of on your road to Japan? Where's next for you?
So yeah, we're leaving Italy in 2 weeks and heading into Croatia, and then we've got to get ourselves into Bosnia before January the 1st because of the
Okay.
Schengen zone. So yeah, it's a bit of a mission, like, but we always achieve.
Okay, and I mean, I'm really interested myself. Where are you finding like the hosts and stuff? Are the hosts somewhere something that you've pre-planned, or is it you kind of going to pitch up as a roadside in a tent, and then
Yeah,
somebody turns around and goes, "You can come stay with me." Actually,
yeah. The hosts we're planning as we like one day at a time. So we arrive at a host and then plan the next one as long as
okay,
it's on our journey. But it's an app called Workaway, and this is what else I'm trying to push out because I think men in my position, if they're willing to give up everything and cause a lot of pain as suicide does, then just play the ice card. It's an ice card. If you've got nothing to lose and you're already prepared to give
yeah,
everything up, then just try this Workaway app. Go, even if you don't have to do 8 years like me, just 6 months in Spain, just floating around, meeting all these Workaway hosts. And it's not even Workaway, it's helping people like, I've helped a blind and deaf couple on their farm. I've helped I've helped so many people do so many different things. I've built stairs for people for our last Workaway. She had
yeah.
this whole list of things that she needed doing, and we just flew through them. And so it's not,
Okay,
and there's no money involved. It doesn't cost anything. It's just bed and board, free food, really great company,
okay.
just for a bit of helping.
So obviously as I'm going through this, I'm having messages coming from Facebook and
That's my
coming
brother.
in from YouTube. So all these are kind of live questions.
Yeah.
So um, what I would is this someone's asking what's been your favourite place so far?
That's my brother. Okay,
Okay,
so yeah, he's my favourite place so far. I think was Biassa.
okay,
It's a little tiny village in the mountains in Italy, not well known, but that was just mind blowing. It really was mind blowing. A beautiful place, beautiful scenery, so much going on. I learnt so many new things, and the host that was there was just amazing, amazing.
no, fantastic. And you know, and you know, I know I've been messaging you to and fro and whatnot, and it's been really good. You know, seeing that journey progress, especially the last couple of weeks.
Yeah,
But somebody's asked now is how are you funding this?
like I have not got a penny in my pocket, mate.
Okay,
I haven't the whole journey. I've got a bike, which gets me to wherever. Yeah, it might take me 3 or 4 days to get there. I've got a tent,
yeah,
got everything I need, and if I'm going from Workaway to Workaway, I just don't need
yeah,
money. So this is another thing that I'm trying to push out to people. People say, oh, I can't afford to do that, or that must cost. It doesn't cost a thing.
yeah.
It's you know, um, apart from in the tubes.
so what you're saying is if I'm not going to dive into things, but if there's an inner tube manufacturer that wants to sponsor you, please feel free.
No, yes, please.
Is that what you're telling me? Yeah.
Yeah. But
Okay.
we come fully prepared before we left. We made sure we had enough in the tubes, and
Okay.
we got
Yeah.
the survival kit that we need. So we're fully packed for any type of weather.
Okay. Good. I mean, is there any point where you feel that you're not ready for this?
Every day. Every day mental health tells me I'm not
Yeah.
worthy, I'm not ready, I'm not good enough, I'm not strong enough. Every single day it tells me, and it gets the same reply.
Okay. No, that's but
But
it
my mum's
shows you.
watching, so I won't tell you what that reply is.
Okay. Hi, Steve's mom. I know that's fair enough. So I mean in terms of you know sort of people sort of helping themselves and stuff like that. I mean, mental health for me, one of the biggest things that I learned myself personally, mental health. You've got to be kind of willing to put the work in, before
Yeah,
the answers aren't going to fall into your lap.
no,
And if you are feeling low, the last thing that you want to be doing is kind of getting up out of bed and running to the doctors.
yeah,
What's been what and I suppose you can kind of equate it to what you're dealing with at the moment. You've got to be willing to take step by step, pedal by pedal.
yes,
And it is getting up in the morning to clean your teeth and stuff like that. I mean,
yeah,
would you say that's fair?
yeah, 100%. Yeah, definitely. It's just baby steps. It's kind of like setting the bar not too high because obviously when you're depressed, if the bar's too high, you're not going to achieve it. So set yourself
Yeah,
goals. for the first couple of weeks, maybe months, just set little goals that you can easily achieve, and then start building the confidence, start
Yeah.
talking to people more, start socializing. If there's something wrong in your life, you don't need to end it, you just need to change it. It's just a chapter of your life that needs
Yeah.
changing, and everybody has the power to do this. It's just pushing the word out to get them to see that if I can do it, anybody can do it.
Yeah. Simon's put here, I do like how you're helping others along your journey. So obviously that's kind of, I think that's back in reference where you're stopping along the way and you help that couple out, that old couple,
Yeah,
doing these different things. So just like what Simon's highlighting there is, it's and sometimes that can be you for your mental health as well, isn't it? It's not necessarily can you fix yourself right now, but can you do something else in
exactly.
turn which will have that positive effect for yourself? Because when you do help others, it's not necessarily about putting yourself on your back foot or putting
Yeah,
yourself last, but it can kind of put what am I looking for? It can give you a bit of self-worth and self-identity, can't it?
yeah. It boosts your confidence as well, because when you turn up to a complete stranger, you're living in
Yeah,
their house, living there by their rules, which is fine. And then when you see that all the stuff that you do for them, they can't do themselves.
yeah,
You know, it's not about money. It's about gratitude, and gratitude means so much more to me than any money
yeah.
value. And I'm pleased to help as many people around the world, and I will continue to do it. But yeah, it gives me a sense of meaning, because, like I said, when I was young, and I've done so much wrong. I've hurt a lot of people.
Yeah.
Um, so for me, it's kind of like I don't want to go out that way. I'd rather like
Okay.
change my life, do something
Yeah.
to help people.
Okay. So, I mean, I don't know who this is, but I've got a comment here or a question here. Um, so, what do your family think about your travels?
Okay, so my immediate family, like, they just think that I'm crazy. Yeah, but that they know me good enough that I'm not going to stop. So I'll do whatever I want. I've always been like that.
Yeah.
And my kids and stuff, they don't really say much about it, if I'm going to be
Okay.
honest. They're all older now, so they're all doing their own thing. I
Yeah.
suppose they'll take from it what they take from it.
Okay. And I'm always a big believer, and obviously, being a dad myself, and being married, sometimes even going off what we've just kind of touched on, you've got sometimes to make you kind of be putting others first sometimes will help you feel a bit better from helping. You have ultimately got to put yourself first, because unless you're looking after yourself, how can you look after others?
Well, this is it. I fell into that trap the other day. I've been so blindsided about helping other people that I wasn't concentrating on my own mental health.
Okay.
And the other day, it jumped up and it absolutely tore a new one into me. I mean, it really beat me. And
Yeah.
the thing is, I wasn't even strong enough that day. So all the doubts and
So
all
I
the
think
negative
yeah.
thoughts. Yeah, well, I did a post, and the support that I got from that post just took me straight back out of it, back in the driver's seat. Let's do this,
Okay.
carry on. Motivation, creation, we move, we win.
Yeah. Okay. And it goes to show that there are days where I do suffer still myself. I try and keep it together as much as I can, but there are days where I just wake up and I think, do you know what? What's the point? I just want to stay in bed all day. But it's kind
Yeah,
of taking that step out and like you say, just kind of pushing yourself forwards. And sometimes that's all it takes is that little spark
yeah.
to kind of deal with that. So I just want to. I know we're doing a lot of to and fro here, but I'm getting some comments through, and I just want to pull
Everyone
this one up
wants a
because I
piece.
think it's from your one of your hosts.
Oh yeah, my Italian sister. Oh bless her.
Here you go. So another host of Steve's here. It was amazing to have you here, helping out. Big love from Italia. So
Oh
it's
wow.
really nice to kind of read that and nice to see that effect that you're having around the world.
Yeah,
So it's obviously a lot of people here are showing a lot of love to yourself. So
oh yeah.
um Yeah, so amazing. So just want to say, guys, if you if you want to help Steve's channel out, go and follow him if you're not already. We'll put some stuff up. We'll bring some, well, we'll let people know where they can find you, but like and share this sort of stream as well, because what we're trying to do is create a message, and for that message, for men's mental health and mental health as a whole, it's okay to kind of talk,
Yeah.
and I don't think that was meant to come for that time. I've got an automatic pop-up, and somebody, I've just, after what I've just put, somebody's smiley face has just come up laughing at me, so cheers. But yeah, it just goes to show, it's the power of sharing, the power of conversation. It might just be that one thing that
Yeah.
somebody needs to hear.
Yeah.
So I will. I'm not. I'm going to pull somebody up here, and I don't know who they are, but they've asked me to. Can I say KCG? So I'm just going to bring that up here. So there we are, KCG. There you go. Happy days. So. Steve, I've got a question here. What's your opinion on P Dimmy Steve? I don't know what that is.
So who's P Dimmy Steve?
I don't know. So Sigra, can you just just bring, well, can you just clarify what you're trying to say there, and I'll bring it up again. So again, somebody else here, has it always been about mental health, or was it just about travel to start with? I think that's for you there, Steve. So I think what you've kind of highlighted, it was about your mental health when you started.
It was mental health that literally got me there, because like I said, I was in a dark place, and I just wanted to give everything back, give everything up, sell everything I had, and just get the bare essentials and just travel. But I wasn't aware that it was mental health that was doing that, because I was in it. It was only till like I was cycling around and somebody said, this must have started from a really dark place. And I was like, wow, you're right. And then I just thought, this is the niche. This is share it with people.
Okay.
Spread the awareness.
I think that answers that fair enough. So somebody else had put it, I think this is going to be for you, buddy. When are you posting another documentary on your channel?
Okay, Italy part 1 comes out in about two weeks.
Okay.
So 2 weeks.
Fantastic. So that comes, that answers that. So I want to kind of move on now. We've obviously had a bit of a segment there, where bringing a couple of the comments in, which keep them coming in, because we will bring them up as they go. This is a live podcast. Unfortunately, Steve's not been the camera there for Steve. Unfortunately, that's a technical issue my end, which I will sort. I want to move on to some kind of questions here that have been sort of I've thought about, and I kind of want to get your thoughts on these. So,
Okay.
what role do you think society plays in sort of shaping how men perceive mental health issues?
Well, good question. So I think it doesn't play a great role at the minute. I think
Okay.
it's like there's so many people out there trying to raise awareness that means that it's not an actual thing that's put out and dealt with correctly. But I also believe that men are put under a lot of pressure. I know women are too, but I'm not a woman, so I can't speak for how a woman feels.
Yeah.
So I do what I do for men, because I am one. I can speak for men. Men are put under a lot of pressure, not just by family, but just by being a man. It's and it's piled on, and there's not an outlet. There's not a lot of outlets for men, and the ones that aren't really, for family members. Obviously, some people like to go to the pub and have a drink. That's not good for you.
No.
Some people like to, go out and take drugs. There's loads of different alleyways to the root of all evil. And it's a slippery slope, because once you're on it, there's not a lot to pull you back.
Okay. And so you're looking at society there, and for me, it's great that there's so much awareness out there for different sort of different issues. You've got different things like LGBTQ, women's rights, and all that, and looking at kids. And do you feel that in this, the men's voice is getting lost somewhere?
Kind of, yeah, because it's like I said, it's not really spoke about. When it is, it's kind of brushed off. I mean, like people say, like, I've heard a lot of people, I've lost a lot of friends to suicide.
Okay.
And, you know, the normal thing that they say is, oh, I wish you just reached out. I just wish you spoke to me. And I always think to myself, do you know what? Maybe he did, but just maybe you weren't aware of the signs. You weren't aware of, because it's hard for a man to just let it out. And quite often, when they do, the subject gets changed to either football or work, or is brushed off, and it shouldn't be. It should be grabbed by both horns and ran into the ground.
Okay. So if there are sort of people listening out there who think their friend, loved one, work colleague, somebody they play sports with, if they think they are struggling,
Yeah,
what would you say, say to that person about um, approaching the individual who they think is struggling?
yeah. Well, I wouldn't say pussyfoot around them. I'd say just, just let them know that they're doing the right thing, and let them know that they can talk anytime. Spend more time with them as well. Take them out of their comfort zone. Take them for a drive somewhere. It depends how close of a friend they are. But you know, kind of take them out their comfort zone. Let them open up, and don't give up on them, because load of people. It's easy for people to give up on people with mental health, because, like I said, it affects those too. And why would they want to put up with somebody else's mental health? It's easier to just shut down. I'm talking from experience, so it's better if you just help and notice the small signs,
Yeah.
because they're clear. I mean, they say men don't talk, but we do. We talk not with our voice, but we talk with our actions. We talk with our way of thinking. Our speech pattern changes, our attitude changes. The time that we spend at home is different. The atmosphere is different. So they're the signs that we need to talk. We can't just sit down and open our mouths. We have to be put in our comfort zone.
Okay. And then in terms of kind of, um, if somebody is on the other side to that, where they're feeling they can't reach out, um, yeah, I mean, I've been there, you've been there. What would you say to the individuals that are thinking, do you know what, nobody is willing to listen?
Get in touch with me. I'm all ears.
Okay, there you go, guys. And the same goes for our channel and everything that goes with it. Reach out to us, because I would rather be listening to you and you here
Yeah,
than you're not here the next day. And it is important that every bloke, well, not just every bloke, but every person, there is somebody willing to listen, but
yeah,
you've got to do the background, the background work. You've got to be willing to work
yeah,
for it to get better, and it does take time.
definitely.
um, so just bringing a couple more comments up here. So again, most common lie told throughout the world: I'm okay. To everyone reading this, it's okay not to be okay. Just please be brave and tell someone you trust that you're not okay. No truer word being said there. It is okay not to be okay. And for me, one of the biggest things, if you're worried about someone, if you ask somebody 3 or 4 times, you know, and you're still concerned, ask them a fifth, because that
Yeah,
fifth might be the difference.
exactly. Yeah. I mean, my brother's going through a little bit of his own little thing as well at the minute. He's a new father, so first time and all that. And because I've been there and done it, it's
Yeah,
like when I ask him how you feeling today, he'll always text back, "I'm okay," or I'm fine. And I've told him he's banned from saying that now, because I've asked him to ask me, like, tell me how he's feeling. I don't want to hear I'm okay. I don't want to hear I'm just fine. I want to hear a
yeah,
bit more, dig a bit deeper.
yeah,
So yeah, always kind of notice that I'm fine, I'm okay. Kind of
yeah,
dig a little deeper, because that's just a mask. That's mental health saying, quick, say you're okay. Don't tell them I'm here. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Dig a little
So
deeper.
somebody here, Seeger again, has asked a question here, and I think I'll get your perspective on it. But I'll look at answering this as well. What's your view on men who are stuck in a dark place and can't get out of it? What should they do to get out of that sort of situation?
Okay, so there's so many different situations, but it doesn't matter what situation you're in, because if, like I said, if you're at the point where you're ready to take your own life, then right there and then you know that it doesn't matter what you do from this step. If you want to if you want to change your life, that's your opportunity. You're already willing to leave it, so now all you do is change it. So walk away, break circles, go on a traveling trip, whether it's 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 months, a year, it doesn't matter. Go traveling, go and speak to new people, change your surroundings, change your atmosphere. Do whatever it takes to completely change your life, because there is no shame in doing that. I mean, it happens to lots of people throughout the world, some for the better, some for the worse. But when a man really needs that, take it.
Would you go as far to say, if you're willing, and this is where, I mean, this is my stance on this, if you're willing to take your life, you're not necessarily at your lowest point.
Yeah, yeah,
But for me, if you're at your lowest point, you haven't got the energy to get out of bed, you haven't got
yeah,
the energy to clean your teeth. So the last thing that you're going to be doing is going somewhere or go driving somewhere to kind of and if you are in that situation where you've got the energy to do it, you've also
yeah,
got the energy to go, do you know what, there is something else.
yeah, exactly. And small steps, especially if you
That's it.
can't get out of bed.
Absolutely.
If
you know
if you can't get out of bed, then that's step one, get out of bed. Do you know what I mean? Then the next
yeah,
day, step two, go and get dressed, go downstairs. Step three, go outside. Step four, go for
yeah,
a walk. Take it baby steps. You can't. Mental health cannot be fixed overnight or with a click of a finger, or just a simple conversation. Having depression or a mental illness is very much like being possessed. You're not you. You're not well. You're not responsible for your actions. You're not responsible for your words or thoughts. And the quicker that you latch onto that, the quicker you save yourself and the people around you. And some people just need pushing or just looking after. And that's what I'm
yeah.
here for. That's what my videos are about. It's what my travels are about.
No, and do you know what? I'll take inspiration to that, but I'm going to throw a bit of a spanner in the works now, Steve. And
Okay.
I do want to ask the question because it's something that it had just been formulating in my head. Are you running away from anything?
Uh, yeah, yeah. I'll be honest. I'm running away from my old life because for 40 years it didn't work. It was
Okay,
affecting me and it was affecting the people around me.
okay.
So that's what I mean. I chose to change it. So yeah, I'm running away from my old life.
Do
Yeah.
you do you worry that when you get back, if you get back, you decide to come back to the UK, will you find that them problems will still be there?
They will be, but I'm not coming back to the UK to stay. As soon as I get back to the UK after this world tour, I'm going to go and do the Brazilian rainforest, the Amazon.
Okay,
So I'm going to be literally traveling till I die because, like I said,
okay,
I've lived that life for 40 years
yeah,
and it hasn't worked. And now
okay.
I've changed it. It's working. So there's no need to go back.
So there is something in that for me.
Yeah,
Sometimes your life doesn't go the way you expect.
yeah,
Sometimes it does take a drastic turn where you know it might seem that there's nothing else, but
yeah,
like you've done, sometimes it's not necessarily that your life is over. It just means that you need a new direction, which I
yeah,
think
yeah,
which is what you've done.
yeah, massively, yeah,
So,
definitely.
which is fantastic. So, couple of sort of closing sort of things here, because I am obviously cautious of your time, and you've got other things to be doing and whatnot. So, um, somebody's put, what about if you don't have the funds to go away? I think you answered that one very early on. You know, you've
Yeah.
not got a penny to your name, and it's something that you've kind of just gone, do you know what? I'm going to go off a wing and a prayer here. Do you think that's fair on that one?
Yeah, it is, yeah. I spent 6 months literally saving and working. So every penny that I earned from that, I bought my
Yeah,
bike, I bought my tent, I bought my one-way ticket, and I was gone.
yeah.
So
So
yeah,
on the back of that question there, I think this is your other host from Italy has just put a really nice comment. Come and do a work away, stay with a host like me for free. So there you go. There's options there.
yeah.
And,
She's a
and,
good
and,
cook as
and
well.
you what? Sorry, buddy.
She's a good cook as well.
Fantastic. There we go. So there's a belly full and whatnot, and just a little
Oh,
bit of
gotcha.
work. Yeah,
Yeah,
so there you go. And then just coming down. Um, uh, let's have a look. Just trying to highlight someone's. Just kind of things here, Steve. Feel your heartbeat. You're alive. You have a purpose. You're important. You are loved. I think no truer words have said. I think that's absolutely brilliant. Somebody's asking here again, what about your family back in the UK? I think sometimes you do have to break that sort of cycle, don't you? And you've got to do what's right for you.
Yeah, you've got to, because you know what, if you're not 100%, then you can be with your family all you want, but if you're not 100% and you're slipping every day, then you're no good to them either. You're no good to them. And they'll soon, it's better that you find out that first than they find out first, because that's when things get really bad. So, yeah. Definitely.
Okay, and just bringing this up here, I'm not sure we can get the full comment up, but somebody's put, lost my 36-year-old son past February, whom I considered the love of my life. Her and I split around this time. On my weekends, I find it difficult just showering and going to the shop. Went to Cuba in November. It was, let's see if we can find the comment. Went to Cuba in November. It was good. And I think it helped. Day at a time. But I have had a meltdown recently. Mate, that's kind of pretty sad on a couple of things, but it's good to see that you're still here. What's your thoughts on that, Steve?
I feel really sad for the bloke. I mean, it's just it's just another bit of evidence, another proof that there's people suffering out there. But he's done the right thing. He's listening to this podcast. That's a good thing straight away.
Yeah,
he's not alone.
Absolutely,
100%. So my heart goes out to him.
Brilliant.
Go and visit Cuba again. Do it again. Don't stop.
Yeah, and then another one here from Simon. Enjoy the journey. Keep championing the struggles of mental health. So I know Simon personally, a top bloke, and he deals with his own stuff. But I know he's been there for me in the past. So Simon, thumbs up from me on that one. Love to you there. But yeah, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. Obviously the technology has not worked with getting Steve on the camera, but we've been able to have that audio side of things, which has been fantastic. I do know Steve will be putting a video up over, because he's recorded his end, so there will be some magic somewhere that happens. Steve, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on and talking to you and getting to know you. I got a question for you though. Will you come back and share some more of your story?
100%. Whenever you're ready, I'm ready.
Yeah. So if you guys are interested in this, I think every sort of couple of months, I think would be a good shout until until we get bored of each other. But I think we're both on a mission here to kind of get people to kind of talking more openly, which I absolutely love. So Steve, where can people find you?
Well, in a month's time, if we're back on in a month, I should be in Bosnia or Montenegro, and I probably haven't said them right. Montenegro. That's the one. That's the place. Yeah, that's the place. So yeah, we should be there in a month's time. We're just passing Costa Rica in the next 2-3 weeks. So it's not Costa Rica, sorry, Croatia.
Yeah,
so many places.
Fantastic. And then in terms of social media presence, I know you're on TikTok, you've got your Facebook, and you've got X as well, haven't you?
Yeah, X,
Twitter, and YouTube. I can't forget YouTube. We're live on YouTube.
Yeah, we're live on that. Yeah.
So what's your where can they find you on them channels?
It's the afterchaintravel.com. They can find us on Facebook and stuff. It's all the same, that kind of logo with well, I can't show you because you can't see.
Well, what I'll do, if you send me some pictures over of your background and stuff, I'll get them put up as well so people can see them and whatnot. So that we will get everything out there. And I can only but apologise. I've not been able to get this video sorted, so I will be going and having a hard lesson of myself and making sure I can get the video side up for future sort of podcast. So this is a new software for me. It's only my third time using it, so I do hold my hands up and say I'm ill prepared on that front. I won't be going forward. So in terms of final thoughts then, buddy?
final thoughts is we move, we win. Everybody keep going, and if anybody needs to talk, they can get in touch with me on any of my channels. I'm always going to be there 24/7, and just keep going. Don't
Okay.
give up, don't quit.
So, final, I've loved her comments tonight, which was from your previous hosts. Big love to Steve, Ryan, and all the men out there. Thank you for your honesty and bravery. Absolutely fantastic. I think she's summed that up for me brilliantly. So,
And I didn't swear once. Look at that.
I know. I know. I think I had a bit more of a blue comment than you. So.
Yeah, I didn't swear once. My mum would be well impressed. Thanks, Mum.
I'm well impressed that we've both behaved ourselves, and I can't guarantee that's going to be every episode, but it's been an absolutely fantastic episode, and
I appreciate it.
really appreciate your time. Keep me posted where you are. I would love to share more content of yours, and what we'll do is we'll stay in touch, and we will kind of reach back out. I think if we look around about probably end of January, beginning of February, I think that might be a good time to share. You'd have had a bit more of a journey by then. But guys, I want to really thank everybody for joining us tonight through Facebook and YouTube. Big love to you, Steve, and Cameron in the background, and then I was, I think it is Cameron, isn't it?
It is,
yeah. There we go. So big love to Cameron as well. Did have a brief chat with him before I spoke to Steve. So, but be assured, next time I will be get my camera live on both sides. So, guys, really appreciate it. I am going to end the show now. I'm going to end it as I ended seasons 1 and season 2, which is stand up, speak out, and use your voice.
God bless.